State revenue forecast shows Indiana taking in $2.4 billion less over the next 3 years than forecast in December.
Yeah, we're going to get right to government reporter Garrett Bergquist live with a look at the numbers. Garrett, what are we learning?
We just finished hearing from the state's chief economist and from its top budget writers, and they say they have determined the state will get $2.4 billion less in revenue through the end of the 2027 budget year than they originally forecast back in December. That's going to have major implications for the state's budget, which is currently entering final negotiations. They say the culprits include a slower than expected growth in employment. That means fewer payrolls to tax, and then also downturn and turmoil in the markets. That is impacting corporate income tax revenue. We heard from the chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee. He's been in the legislature since 2004. He calls this the worst situation that he has seen since the 2008-2009 financial crisis. We asked if there are any cuts on the table, and they said only that all options are on the table. However, both Republicans and Democrats on the state budget committee say education is the last thing they're willing to cut. We also asked if any tax hikes would be on the table to make up for the lost revenue. Republicans on the committee would not commit to that. Democrats say now would be a good time to reconsider raising the state cigarette tax. There was a proposal to do that on the Senate floor earlier this week, and it was voted down. Now, as I mentioned earlier, budget negotiations between the House and Senate are currently underway. We expect that the legislative session will wrap up around the end of next week. However, we asked if legislative leaders expect a special session, and they said they do not anticipate calling a special session at this time. We also asked about the state's reserves. The state has about $2.7 billion in reserves, but the ranking Democrat on the House Ways and Means Committee says that if the state were to draw down all those reserves, that would only leave us with about $300 to $400 million left in reserve for emergencies. And he said that is not a situation we want to be in. We'll have much more coming up at 6, including we'll hear from some of those legislative leaders. For now, live at the State House, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV. WishTV.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.